crypto investments, a lot of people have moved away from traditional savings and typical investments, that you'll have pots of cash sat in a business or a personal bank account, and you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4% interest. A lot of people have started to move into the crypto environment, which is digital assets, digital currency. Harder to understand for a lot of people, but let's look at the tax implications. So let's look at investing as an individual. So if this is your cash, you've got an amount of money sat in a personal bank account, and it is probably getting 0.00 right now. If you decide to invest in crypto, I'm not an investment advisor, so please don't think that I'm giving advice here about crypto investments. This is purely assessing the tax implications. But if you did invest that money into something crypto, so you've got your Bitcoin over here or whatever it might be, what you're going to be doing is buy that at a certain price. And this is the same for you as an individual or as a company. So let's say you bought that currency or the Bitcoin for $10. You've done very well compared to the current Bitcoin price. Over the course of time, that $10 is going to fluctuate in value, so you have to understand that this is not something that's a bank account that just goes up in a linear fashion, adding bits and bits and bits of interest. So over the course of time, let's say it's done this, but at some point here, you decide you want to sell that asset, sell that cryptocurrency. As an individual, this is a capital gain. This is not income tax, this is capital gains tax. So let's say that has actually gone to $100 or $110, keep my maths easier. So you've got $110, it's going up by $100 per coin. And now let's say you've got one coin for now. So you've made gain of 100. What does that mean? Great, you've made a huge amount of money, that's the first thing, which is excellent, notwithstanding the risk profile. But you will have a capital gains tax liability. Now, depending on your own personal tax position, depending on whether you are a zero rate taxpayer down here, all the way up to a higher rate tax threshold, which kicks in beyond 50,000. If you're a low rate taxpayer, you will only pay 10% tax on the gain that you've had through the crypto. If you're a higher rate taxpayer, then you pay 20% tax. Notwithstanding those tax rates, you still have your capital gains tax allowance. So you will find that if it's more than $100 and it's several thousand dollars or several thousand pounds, then you still get to utilise your capital gains tax allowance to offset any gains that you've had. A lot of investors and a lot of people actually use their capital gains tax allowance year in, year out at around £12,000 a year, drawing all of that money out, and by using your CGT allowance, you pay no tax on that gain up to that figure. Anything beyond that is then taxable, as I say here, at the respective rates. That's investing as an individual. Again, the same logic applies here, that if you have money going in, you have a gain, you then have a tax implication. But if you've got that sat within a limited company framework, which a lot of people do because they want to utilise funds they've accrued within their business. Again, same logic, if you've invested in your $10 and it's gone up to $110, you've still had the £100 or $100 gain here, ignoring the foreign exchange. The difference here is this is a trading gain, this is an investment return to the business, and the tax on that is 19% because it's corporation tax. The only thing beyond that, so that's the standard tax rate. The only thing you need to be then mindful of is the rules surrounding investment companies. Be mindful that if all of a sudden that isn't just $100, it's $100,000 or $1 million, you need to look at your trading within the business and whether you're deemed to be an investment company or a standard trading company. If it's fairly minimal activity, standard company, just an additional way of making money on money you've got sat in a crappy bank account. And that's pretty much crypto and how it's taxed.